Okay, so I've been using iOS 26.5 Beta 2 for the past 3 days, and honestly, this update is somewhat of a mixed bag. There's some solid improvements, some subtle little UI tweaks, and yes, definitely still some bugs you want to know about before installing. So, let's go ahead, dive into iOS 26.5 Beta 2 after about 3 days of usage, and let's talk about it. As you would assume, with a new beta, that is a .5 release. Yeah, even with all of the rumors and everything, we did not get any new features here, really especially surrounding the new Siri. So, having said that, Beta 2 for iOS 26.5 has a build number of 23F5054H. The H is signifying that we definitely still have a couple of betas to go before this is going to be ready to release to the public. And after using this now, like I said, for a couple days, they definitely need the time to continue to work on it because of some of the random glitches we're going to talk about. Now, starting with what's actually new here, there is not a lot. There's some subtle UI tweaks across the system, and those are mainly in the form of smoother animations and things of that nature rather than anything new, kind of like in the App Store, like we've talked about with the all-in-one search bar and things like that. But one thing that does continue to pop its head, you probably just saw it there, is the control center glitching. So it is kind of all over the place from time to time and just doesn't seem to look very fluid. Also, when you unlock your phone, let me go ahead and do this and swipe up, you could see the animation, the bounce animation just kind of hesitates a little bit. It looks like they're thinking about removing it, but kind of left it. And then they couldn't decide on what to do, so they just kind of threw it in as a mixed bag as it was. Definitely weird, but it is consistently doing that. And you probably could just see there while it was unlocking in the dynamic island, it didn't line up perfectly. It's been a pretty glitchy build. You can see it yet again there, the double circle. Let's go ahead and lock it. Let it see my face, and then it went back to normal. It's just been little things like that that have been frustrating. In addition to that, the Mail app as well is yet again glitching specifically for the Gmail servers. Not sure what's going on with that. Leave a comment down below, guys, if you are experiencing that issue as well. There is some more consistency now with group notifications, which were a little bit glitchier in the previous beta. Those are coming in and stacking correctly now at least. But yeah, still not sure what's up with the UI inconsistencies. Like we've said, I'll touch on this again really quickly. In the music app, where you do have that separated search bar, where it is not one complete bar, as it is with the App Store. It's just these little things that Apple has not yet nailed with these new betas. The consistency is not there, and just some little details you wouldn't think Apple to keep missing. As far as performance goes, though, I can say the beta is definitely more stable. Apps do feel like they open a little quicker than they did earlier. You can fly through the UI, scrolling through, doing whatever you need. If you do play video games and it is important for you for memory retention, let me go to Clash again. I can say the RAM management is also a little better here now. There's still occasional frame drops, especially when doing like heavier multitasking or switching quickly between apps, but hopefully that yet again will get resolved here in the next beta. We should be on a weekly release after this beta, most likely. Sometimes Apple does skip 2 betas or 2 weeks in between beta 1 and beta 2 for beta 3 to come out, but I'm going to take a guess and say we should start seeing beta 3 next week on the 20th. So we are already on Thursday the 16th, so possibly as early as Monday the 20th, the 3rd beta should come out. If not, it'll be the 27th, but my money is on the 20th for this to be coming out. Now, aside from that, we did just get 26.4.1. That seems to be working okay as well. But one thing that I still can't quite wrap my head around is battery life on this beta either. So, if you look at our battery usage, I still feel the need to go ahead and actually charge up multiple times a day. So you can see I've had 7 hours and 25 minutes of screen active time on Tuesday, 5:42 on Wednesday, and today's obviously just getting started on Thursday, but I'm not feeling too confident without the battery kind of dropping off a ledge. One thing I will say that I am happy about though, home and lock screen yet again is not giving me any errors, showing that I am getting an excessive power drain from that, where I beta 1 I was experiencing that somewhat likely or regularly. Also, I don't know what's going on. The keyboard is still very inconsistent here. So going through our test that we've been running now for weeks, every time in the morning or beginning of the day, the keyboard seems to work really good. How are you? So as you can see, typing perfectly fine and it registered great. The predictive text line came up and showed up each time, worked out great. But sometimes when this text line doesn't appear, it jacks up everything with typing. There's no autocorrect. It kind of just blanks out. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it is an intermission issue that is still here. If you're having keyboard issues as well, drop a comment down below and let me know if you're experiencing that as well. Really, aside from the annoying keyboard fix and the mail push notifications not coming through, or mail in general not coming through, those are the main bugs that I've experienced. Hopefully those will get fixed in beta 3. But the bigger question now is if you should install it knowing all of this. And the answer is no. There's no great new features. There's no new Siri here. There's no Gemini backing in any regards, at least forward facing right now. And getting this is not worth it. Obviously, if you're ready on beta 1, sure, you want to always have the most recent version, but don't jump on it if you are not in the beta program. I would not recommend getting this for a public beta tester at all. Developers have it for obvious reasons, but there is no reason for anybody else really to use this at the moment. No new features, and that's obviously usually the main reason why you would want to download an update. And the last thing I do want to show you here today is the iPhone storage, because we've been talking about this a lot. System data, as we know, always is in flux because of the cache data and stuff. But from our other video, you can see we did have I think it was around 18 gigs. We are now back again over 21.66 gigs in system data over what it was prior, and this is just taking up an excessive amount of storage. And then again, lastly, on performance, we did run quite a few Geekbench scores, and as you can see how it relates recently, ever since Monday, we got a 3740 single and a 9560 multi. And again, today is very comparable at 3773 single and a 9841 multi. These really do fall in line about what we've been seeing here at least the last month or so. So keep in mind, at least performance is staying steady. However, they are still just, this doesn't tell the whole picture. It's still just in flux, but just something I wanted to let you know if you're a fan of those benchmark tests. Like I said, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about iOS 26.5 Beta 2, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.